Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, New Inside Art. Today I'm going to talk about my final reveal of my dining nook area. If you have been following me for a while now, you have seen that I've been going through a home journey, complete transformation of this cookie cutter home. And a lot of it has to do with like MCM, Japandi, organic, modern. So a little recap, I moved into this place a few months ago, okay? This is a generic suburban home, okay? We have your basic dimensions, a few bedrooms, and an open, airy living room and kind of like a dining room. So I wanted to go into the angle of creating something that's neutral and just timeless at the same time. There are natural elements involved. There's some Facebook Marketplace, there's some DIY. There are even some new items that I purchased just for decor. I mixed this all together and then I came up with this. So let's just start with the first thing I did. So when I first walked into this home, I realized that the home is very square. So that's why I constantly use the word cookie cutter because, you know, it's very sectioned out into so many different places. You know, you have your rooms where you have your room, you have your bathroom where you have your bathroom, you have your kitchen where you have your kitchen. The only time where I saw that I can kind of, you know, break up the space and make it more a natural flow was actually the living and dining room area, which I'm in right now. And immediately I want to start with the dining area. It's mostly just a blank wall canvas that I'm gonna work with. So the ultimate plan for me was to make this space very airy and natural. So a lot of my inspiration came from actually Japandi style and that sense of like clean line and minimalistic feel. There's a lot of earth tones, there's a lot of natural elements that are working with each other. I didn't want it to look too modern because I'm already in a modern home. So my initial idea, I actually done this DIY in the past and this is the full Limewash technique. So for anybody who doesn't know what Limewash is technically fundamentally composed of slaked lime. So it's a type of burning crushed limestone and then you mix it with water in order to form a lime putty. And then once that's combined all together, you achieve a desired look like this. So the full Limewash technique is very, very simple. You can do it with any type of paint, but in my opinion, what I think works well is the chalk paint. And I get the chalk paint specifically from beer. If you have any other chalk paint that works best for you, you can use that as well. This one has done wonders for me. So I tested about 3 colors. I kind of wanted to go with a soft and stone look. I don't think I wanted to apply color because already that there is so much natural light, I personally feel like there's a risk of having a bold color in a very natural light area since the illumination of that bold color can end up looking flat and I just don't want that. So I ended up choosing the color Sandy Clay. I found it a really good color in order to smooth out the space, especially since this is an open plan concept and I kind of have a taupe kitchen as well and my floors are a light to medium natural oak. So the best way to apply the full Limewash technique is to have the deck brush, okay? So the deck brush is cheap, you can get that anywhere. Basically go into a crisscross motion tons of times. And the easiest trick in order to make it and look as natural as possible is to start in different sections. So my dining buffet slash console needed to be something that wasn't too busy because I already chose my dining table. I thought of doing a DIY. The IKEA IVAR cabinet was actually the best way to go for me because it was a pine wood, it was a good blank canvas to start on. If you were to look at this cabinet, you would think it would be like in a wood shop or something like that. Not as like a decorative piece. But I figured out that a lot of people actually use the IVAR cabinets in order to make so many different types of DIYs. Media consoles, TV units, or even bar cabinets that people did just by using the IVAR cabinets. thinking that I wanted some sort of pop because I was going to actually paint it a chalk paint black, because I feel like the chalk paint black is kind of like a charcoal kind of color. It is really nice during the day and I get a lot of natural light. It kind of gives that richness and like a texturized look. So I took pieces of plywood and I cut it in an arch in order to paste it on there. And I knew I wasn't gonna have handles on it, so I kind of picked the perfect size. I feel like there's a common misconception of chalk paint that you need to prime before. That is not true. Like, I didn't need to prime my faux Limewash walls and I didn't need to prime the Ivar cabinets. Okay, so we have the dining buffet, we have the full Limewash. So now it comes for how I'm going to showcase my art. So I decided to go with wood shelves. I actually wanted to do real wood shelves. This inspiration came from Japan. A lot of the times you see those natural elements and a lot of it had, you know, wood shelves on walls. So cedar wood is actually known for the best use in order to have an interior decor. Not too extremely intense. It also gives that charm of looking very natural. I needed the length to be perfect. It needed to fit exactly in the wall space where I'm going to have my dining table. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I feel like my dining nook is pretty anchored right now. There is a dining buffet, there is the floating wood shelves, like this is the foundation. And now I can finally get to the furniture. So the first thing I wanted to start, even though I had my dining table and I wanted to put that so bad, I wanted a rug and it was going to be round. Since I do have an open layout and it's mostly square, I feel like I want to break up the space. So I ended up with a jute rug, and this was a hand woven made jute rug. I got it off Amazon and I didn't want it to look too small, especially with the dining table that I finally chose and I'm finally going to tell you guys. So I found the CB2 stone dining table on a Facebook Marketplace. So if you guys don't know what CB2 is what I consider a high-end store. Like, you need to have money in order to buy at that furniture store, but they have quality items. I came across the CB2 stone table, and even before thinking of what I wanted to do with the house, I immediately just had a feeling, I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to work with what I'm kind of thinking, and I'm just gonna work around it. I grabbed it at a price of like $400 off Facebook Marketplace, and there was no issues with it at all. And of course, the person I bought it off was rich. I went to go to their place and everything was like custom made and everything. But anyways, it was the dining table to get. So I have all the natural elements going on. I have my inspiration from Japan, a bit of mid-century modern, organic modern, all that. And I was actually kind of debating on whether I made the right choice or not, because, you know, wood dining tables are really popular and they're really timeless. This one has a glass tabletop, but I feel like the glass tabletop kind of breaks up the idea of having way too much wood. You know, I don't want to be super rustic. I don't live in a cabin or whatever. So I feel like that clearness kind of gives that clean slate. And then the chairs that I chose were more MCM inspired. These are the Seska chairs. Seska chairs are considered iconic in design. Like, I'm not just saying this, they remain popular for decades after creation because there's like a balance of like history, style, style, comfort, it's versatile. It was designed in like the 1920s. The mix of like industrial steel and then like a natural woven cane and wood makes it feel modern but super warm. This one was found off Facebook Marketplace as well. A lot of the time these Seska chairs are replicated. Don't feel like you need to get the real ones. As long as they're solid and they're in good condition, you're good to go. So now I feel like the hardest part for me was the decor items. I'm not really a person that likes to just get decor items just to fill in the space. Like it kind of needs to mean something, but I need to realize that it doesn't always have to be. If you can mix and match for some things that you actually generally just like, in addition to things that are actually meaningful, it can both work together. Some items where I have done DIY myself, like the ceramic stone vases. I have a few vinyls that I own myself that I picked up that I put on display. So the final addition to the dining nook. So this was the pendant light. The pendant light was tough because I didn't want something to take away from everything that is working so seamlessly together. I didn't want something that's too much of an accent either. So I was leaning towards getting Japandi rice paper lamp. The rice paper lamp, you can get the IKEA very cheap. They range from $5 all the way up to like $30, I believe. And it's very easy to get. It works in any space. But I feel like with all the natural elements that I actually have going on, this would risk ending up looking a bit cheap. So I didn't end up going with that vibe. So I redirected my thought towards actually getting a real wabi-sabi Japanese pendant lamp, and that required a much higher budget. The materials differ. This is actually made out of a bamboo tree, and it doesn't wrinkle over time like the IKEA ones that you see, and it can be well maintained over the years. I did not decide to go with either. So I ended up making this pendant light. This was one of my most interesting DIYs in my opinion. I used paper mache and I created kind of like a look in order to make a pendant light. And I put it at the perfect height where it just doesn't interfere too much. And this paper mache, you don't even have to make it from scratch. You can get it from places like Michael's or just like, you know, decorative stores, party stores. They come pre-packaged. What can I find that looks high-end, that looks natural, but it's not too expensive? And I feel like this anchors well with everything that I have right now. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was how I transformed my dining area. If you really like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe because I am actually decorating this home from scratch. So if you look at my recent videos, I actually touch on a lot of different areas of my home. So you actually get a deeper glimpse of how I'm planning for it to look like rather than just waiting and seeing the final product. You can comment, you can give me advice, and you can just simply like the video and keep it going. Please subscribe. And if these type of videos aren't your cup of tea, I do have other playlists. I talk about interior design trends, everything like that, home decor, IKEA furniture. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.